Revelio.
Sebastian, a lost relic from a catacomb which requires a dark sacrifice.
I know how it sounds, but if this can help you, it's worth the risk.
Does Ominous know about this?
He helped find the scriptorium where we discovered Slytherin's spellbook.
Very well. If Ominous will be there, I'll meet you. We don't have much time. Solomon wants to leave Feldcroft.
What? Leave? Never mind. You need to stall him. Buy us time, Anne. Please.
I shall do my best. I'll be in touch.
Solomon can't take Anne from Feldcroft. Where would they go? When would I see her?
Sebastian.
Don't think I've forgotten about your goblin friend. I haven't. But I appreciate you setting our earlier discussion aside for now.
Of course.
I can't believe my uncle wants to leave Feldcroft. Anne's going to stall him. She must. We need time.
Time? For what?
I've learned more about the relic. I cross-referenced Slytherin's spellbook with everything in the library on relics and dark sacrifices. That's when I realized something. I believe the relic will only work inside the catacomb.
So we have to get Anne to the catacomb and then conduct a sacrifice. Seems risky.
It'll be worth the risk. Our biggest hurdle may be convincing Ominous. And we'll only give this a chance if he's on board.
And we have to keep all of this from your uncle. If he goes to the headmaster, we could be expelled.
Let me handle Ominous this time. As for my uncle, he's not an Auror anymore. What he doesn't know, well, won't hurt us.
Do you think your uncle...
If he found out, I doubt he'd go to the ministry. He didn't part ways with them well, from what I understand. He won't say, but I believe his strong aversion to dark magic has something to do with his time there. Anne thinks he once decided to fight fire with fire, so to speak, and resorted to using an At least that's what she thought she heard. When he realized what his job had led him to become, he left rather abruptly.
Good luck with Ominous. Until we meet again.
I shall let you know when the four of us should meet at the catacomb. Look for my owl. See you soon.
Dee cannot believe how many beasts you have here.
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
Revelio.
I have been meaning to speak
I
with
still can't believe we escaped the Ashwinders.
you.
I wonder how everyone knows about it.
I told my mother in the hope that she would be more forgiving of what I have been up. She likely told other professors, and unfortunately, she might, in fact, have been.
If she knew more about what you've done,
If she knew any more about what I've done, she would never let me out of her sight again. She has not. Harlow is as strong as ever. Someone needs to stop him, whether it is us or Officer Singer. If someone had stopped the monsters like him in Matabeleland, my father would be alive today.
what exactly happened to your father?
It was a beautiful day. My mother had gone to tend to a neighbor who was ill, and so my father and I were galloping in the savannah.
Galloping? Your father was also an animagus, I take it.
He could become the most majestic giraffe, and he would carry me on his back, my arms around his neck. One of them saw me, just as he removed a scarf from his...
He didn't want you to identify him.
In an instant, my father bowed his... As he fell, my father changed back into his human form. When the bandits saw this, they turned and ran in fear. Magic terrified them, and then he was gone. And it was all my fault.
Your fault? How so?
He died protecting me. If I had been capable of protecting myself, he would still be alive today. My mother and I tried to go on without him, but it became too much for us there. A few years later, we left to come to Scotland.
Do you think taking down the Ashwinders will have...
No. Then he and my mother raised me to believe that it is a privilege to be... I know there is risk involved, but I feel it is...
What does your mother think about it?
Well, as you saw, she worries a great deal. She misses him. As do I. But that does not mean that she likes.
Do you think your father...
Oh my, that is a good question. In theory, yes. Although he would worry as my mother does. But I think he, of all people, would understand my persistence. My father never shied away from a fight for good, no matter how ruthless the foe. And I think he would have enjoyed knowing that I had a compatriot like you.
I'm sorry, Natty.
He was truly extraordinary. And thank you for your kind words. We all have our burdens. My father had a saying about that.
Yes, I remember. Rain does not fall on one roof alone.
Exactly. Soon you and I will put an end to the Ashwinders, beginning with Harlow. And once he is gone, we will turn our attention to Rookwood. We are making progress, and we will succeed. Thank you again for saving me. You deserve all of the praise you have received.
Revelio! Hello, Grace.
Nice to see you. I've become quite...
I suppose so.
Shall we begin?
I'm game.
Accio. You didn't see that.
Accio! Accio!
That wasn't what I wanted to see. Well, it appears I've been bested. Well done! Diving, Summoner's Court. Seems there's nothing you can't...
You played a good game though, Grace.
I did play rather well, didn't I? Only one student has ever beaten me. She's very good. But if you play the way you did against me, you might stand a chance. I do wish you would take your turn. The Pinch Smedleys will always look upon you as a trusted ally and friend.
In today's lesson, we will cover a truly thrilling event. The Goblin Rebellion of 1752 and all its triumphant tragedy. But more specifically, we will address the devastating effects it had on the wizard milling industry. Throughout the many goblin battles, countless wizard cloaks were lost. Actually, we do know the number. 632. But history occurs outside the classroom. And look, it's time for my constitutional. One can practically osmose the history flowing through Hogwarts.
I think the professor wants us to follow him.
And now for a stroll to the Bell Tower entrance hall. Along with the rest of the castle, it was completed in the early Middle Ages. The hall and the bell towers that loom above it contain myriad interesting artifacts.
Revelio.
Good to see you again. Recovered from that nasty bout of dragon pox, have we?
That wasn't me, Professor. I'm new here.
Are you? Well then, welcome. No doubt you're eagerly anticipating my analysis of various wizarding councils, codes, statutes, and of course, goblin rebellions. Not all goblins are rebellious. Some venture into wizarding politics, such as Eargit the Ugly. Some are talented artisans, such as Bragbor the Boastful.
Did Did you say Bragball? I know that name. Lord Gok said he was an ancestor of Ranrock.
Well known for his metalwork. I would imagine much of his goblin wrought iron and silver has survived to this very day. Well, where were we? Oh yes. Back to our class topic for today. Grimbold Weft. Another notable historical figure. He's right nearby. Curious students can find him on display.
Revelio.
at the bell tower entrance. Grimbold Weft.
Accio! Revelio.
This is a centuries-old likeness of Pangadon. Fearless mouthhunter and devoted study companion. People who I find that comforting.
These bits of broom are all that's left of a witch called Celine Wartnobby.
If you fail history of magic, you're doomed to repeat it.
Leave it to Binns to make the most interesting school in the world seem dull.
The Hogwarts founders could never have achieved such architectural majesty.
Revelio.
Blade of powerful magic.
Can you tell me where I might find...
Ah yes, Grimbold Web. He's a fascinating artifact. At any rate, he can be found...
Wagadu's history is, well, a bit different than that of Hogwarts, to say the least.
Revelio.
Our students often complain about the many staircases at Hogwarts. They never bother me.
Grimbold Weft. I do so enjoy his stories. I'm sure he's around here somewhere.
Revelio.
Hogwarts is impervious to the inexorable march of time. Perhaps that is why I admire it so.
Revelio. Revelio.
There's nothing quite so magical as history. Musty, immutable history.
Sounds like a helpful fellow. Got the hill of the rebellion.
Revelio.
Oh, yes, I see.
Yes,
The thrill of these Scot... Now, let's turn our attention to... He's also... Standing in eternal but symbolic watch over the bell tower is a retinue of loyal knights, or rather,
Handy resource
statues
indeed.
of
Revelio.
clarify. Keen-eyed students will spot the statue of Sir Halfpuddle and the cheerful countenance
Expelliarmus.
nestled among the ranks. His fame was not won by vanquishing foes in single combat, nor by slaying bloodthirsty dragons, but rather in training yards and sculleries, where his warm and approachable
Revelio.
demeanor was celebrated by old friends and newcomers alike. I encourage one to make the waving statue's acquaintance.
Revelio. Revelio.
The Hogwarts founders could never have achieved such architectural majesty without the aid of powerful magic. Our students often complain about the many staircases at Hogwarts, but they never bother me.
What are you up to now?
Hogwarts is impervious to the inexorable march of time. Perhaps that is why I admire it so.
Revelio.
There's nothing quite so magical as history. Dusty, immutable history.
Revelio. Revelio.
In all the centuries that Hogwarts has existed, not once has it collapsed.
Revelio.
No narthexes, since obviously those would not be found. Castle